Hello, I'm Dr. Bessie Jo Tillman, and I'd like to tell you about the 7 steps to overcoming yeast infections. In my 25 to 30 years of practicing natural medicine, I learned a lot about the yeast overgrowth problem. And I found that basically there's 7 steps to help you overcome it. If you haven't had yeast infection very long, and if it's not really entrenched in your body, then you may only have to go through the first 3 steps to get your health back. And actually, the first 2 or 3 steps you can probably do on your own without any trouble. If you need to go on to some of the other steps, you'll probably want a holistic practitioner to work with. And there are resources to find a doctor like that. So let's start with step 1 on getting the yeast overgrowth in your body under control. And that's being kind to your gastrointestinal tract. Most folks with yeast overgrowth have a lot of intestinal and stomach discomforts, gas, bloating, constipation or diarrhea, even pain. Most likely that's because that's where the yeast love to grow the most, is in your GI tract. So we supplement with digestive enzymes that help digest those proteins, fats, and carbohydrates into a form that your body can assimilate better, because usually with yeast overgrowth you have some disruption in your digestive abilities. Now, most folks also would do well to do a colon cleansing, and the one I use is just really, really simple. You just drink it or take it morning and evening, and it doesn't make you run to the bathroom or do anything like that. It takes maybe 5 minutes at the most to take your supplements, and they help get the balance of fiber and organisms back in your body and clean out any old junk that's in there. It usually helps regulate bowel function. Now, the second step is to nourish yourself without feeding the yeast, because that's a lot of the problem. We're eating food that feeds the yeast, and they just keep growing and multiplying. So we work in helping you establish the Get Healthy Eating Plan, and it's just a healthy way to eat. It's fun, it's colorful, it's tasty, and you can get very creative with it and fine-tune it to what you like to eat. Well, if you don't eat any vegetables, you may have to get used to eating vegetables. Actually, you really do have to get used to eating vegetables, but we give you a lot of ways to fix them that I think you'll like. Now, the third step is to consider food allergies, and they're often hidden. You don't recognize them. Some of your gastrointestinal disturbances may be because you're eating a food that your body's reacting to. And it can be, it's usually the common foods that we eat every day, like wheat, soy, dairy, eggs, yeast, sugar. If you look at prepared foods, they have all those ingredients in them most of the time, and you might think you don't eat soy, but look at the labels, you'll probably find you do. Anyway, it's not always easy to track down what you're reacting to, but again, in the Get Healthy Eating Plan, we give you some ways to eliminate foods easily, and then add them back one at a time and see if you're reacting to them. So if you implement those steps and you're still not where you want to be, one of the things I've found, and that I don't see in any of the yeast candida books that are written, is you really need to look for toxins in your body, toxic metals and chemicals. They come from environmental pollution. Even if you've had no major exposures, you still have accumulated a lot of chemicals and probably a lot of toxic metals in your body, and you need to get rid of those. You'll just need a lot more information in order to do that, and it's available. Now, the 6th step may be using some botanicals, some herbs or homeopathics, or even prescribed medications to kill off the yeast. That's the first step a lot of people do, and it just messes things up more. So don't go there for your first step. Please, You've got to get some other things under control. And then if you really need to use botanicals or medications, you can, and they can be helpful. The sixth step is looking for other hidden problems, like glandular imbalances. I mean, you've always probably felt something was wrong with your thyroid, right? But your blood tests are normal. Well, that can happen. You can have normal blood tests and your thyroid could be stressed, or so could your adrenal glands, or your pituitary, or your ovaries, or your testicles. And you may be surprised what throws the glands out of balance, and you may be surprised at how much you can do to bring them back into balance. And that's a good news. Once you know, then you can make a change that makes a big difference for yourself. Other hidden problems can be emotional wounds that keep you from healing. Again, that's usually you need some help getting those under control. Now the seventh step you can put in anywhere in the progress of going through these steps, and you probably should. It's just doing the lifestyle things that are healthy for you anyway, like getting enough sleep, breathing deeply. A lot of people don't expand their lungs enough to ever get the oxygen down to the deep parts of the lungs and out to the body. Get enough fresh air, get enough exercise. You can do those things all at the same time. Go outside and exercise. You'll be breathing fresh air, I hope, if you live where there's fresh air, and it'll make you breathe deeply. So this is such a brief overview of what you can do to get that yeast back in control in your body. You know, I would just love to give you all the information right now, but there's just too much to put on one little video. So I just invite you to take a look at overcomingyeastinfection.com. It'll start you on the journey to finding out more about the yeast problem and what you can do for yourself, and then how you can find the resources you need for the other parts of it. So I just love to share this information with people, and I'd love to share more with you. And so hopefully I'll see you again soon. You have a wonderful day, and God bless you.